Hi everybody, this is Susie and welcome to another Treasures Deluxe Designer video. I'm going to show you today a really pretty Victorian style Tussie Mussie that I've created. I actually made the Tussie Mussie by hand. Let me just show it to you and then I'll explain what I have here. It's quite large, so I'm trying to get the whole thing in. I have the very top of the handle on top of a dress form, so that's what you see behind there, and I just have a piece of fabric draping the leg of it. There's so much involved with this. It's just so detailed, and I'll get closer on that a little later. But just to let you know, the base of this was made from Recollections cardstock. It's the 110-pound cardstock in like a very cream color paper, which is actually the flower in the center that I made, the rose, that was also made from that paper. And once I constructed the cone-shaped Tussie Mussie, I then put some muslin wrapped around it, muslin fabric, and then I have another piece of fabric going over that, which is a really beautiful piece of lace trim. It's very wide, probably about, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches wide. I wish I would have had it out here to show it to you, but I don't, as usual. I'm never ready. Oh yes, I do have it. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Okay. This is it. I'm hoping that you can see that. It's quite wide, probably about 5 inches wide. It's very beautiful, and that one was a piece that I had purchased at my local fabric store, wanting to make a special project for Treasures Deluxe and design it using several of the items that I have received in my design team kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off at the bottom here. And what I have at the bottom here is that exact flower that you see there. I took one layer and turned it upside down and put that on the bottom of the Tussie Mussie, along with some marabou boa fur in a very pale cream color. And on top of my lace, I used the trim from Treasures Deluxe, which you can see right there. It's kind of like a double trim that's twisted, almost coiled. Very dainty trim. It's very beautiful. It has white pearls on the center of each oval, connected all the way through. And as you can see, as I go slowly up here, I have 3 layers between the center, the lower center, and the bottom of the Tussie Mussie of the trim from Treasures Deluxe. And then, of course, I have this absolutely stunning that I had just received in my design team kit, the trim that is totally wrapped around, as you can see here. I'll just turn it some. That is such a beautiful trim. It is very wide, I would say at least 4 inches, and I love the V-shaped trim. It just gives you so much versatility in your crafts between cutting them and using them as different shapes or layering them. Really beautiful. And there, way at the top, if you can see, I had the very top of that trim there sticking up, and I wanted it like that to cover the top circle border of the opening of the Tussie Mussie, and I put that border trim all around it with the pearls that come like that on there. And then I used the rest of it on the handle of the Tussie Mussie, as you can see right there. Really very pretty. That's on an ecru color piece of seam binding that's attached on the inside. It's not going all the way up top. It's just going towards the middle, about 8 on each side. And that was the end of the yard that I had in my design team kit. So coming back around this way, absolutely stunning. I made that flower from the Recollections paper in that ecru cream color. It is a rose with a lot of layers, and I made this flower especially for this project. And if you see over here, I have quite a bit going on. I've got these pearls from my stash that are hanging down. Some are shooting, some are strands, and then if you can look closely here, I put in some of that shooting pearl in kind of like a gold color to break up some of the white pearls and some of the cream, just so that would catch the eye a little bit there, and it certainly did, because all I had was the green leaves, which I also made by hand. And so I'd like to show you what the flowers that I've used from Treasures Deluxe as well. I'm so sorry if this is tilting a little bit here. It's very hard to have this hanging and then make the recording. I'm trying my best. Okay, and then I have these really gorgeous, I absolutely adore this color. It's like a cranberry color. And it's kind of almost like a cabbage rose, it looks like to me. And it's the rose that is splattered with gold paint. It already comes that way. And in between there, if you can see, I have these really cute little twisted roses that are like an eggshell color, like almost a creamy beige, that has slightly like a tinsel in there. If you turn it, and the way it hits the light, it looks like a tinsel. And just really, really beautiful, very Victorian, very elegant. The lace is certainly something. I did not glue the lace down to the Tussie Mussie, have it freely swaying. This is going to be hanging from one of my very large dress forms that I have that's kind of like wired. It's probably about I'd say 2.5 feet tall, and I have 2 of them in my craft studio, so it has like these hooks around them, so I'm going to have this one hanging from it with some of the hearts and other Tussie Mussies that I've made in the past. But I really love this one. I'm favoring it so much because I love the cream, and I love it that I put these that kind of burgundy color with a little bit of splatter of gold there, and some of the green breaking up the cream color laces, the green part. I like that idea because it kind of turns the eye a little bit towards the flower and then towards the lace. So it's very beautifully made, and I'm just going to share with you on the bottom here. As you can see, the layers of the trim going all the way around it, and I did put some of the marabou bow at the bottom, and I just love it that when you pick it up, it's kind of almost like you know, a tail of the mermaid kind of, and there's a little pearl underneath in there. And hoping that stays now. So you can see that when I picked it up, the handles came off, which in a way I'm glad, because that was the next route that I was going, because I just wanted to show you. In fact, I will lay this down so that I can actually show you what I've done. I'm sorry. Okay. On the handle here, okay, what I've done was I've used 8 sections of this trim, and when I got to the very top, when you cut it, I didn't want to have that raw fringed edge that you would have on a trim cut. So instead of just putting a bead there, I decided to make a bow out of some seam binding, and I'm sorry, I don't want to have my arm like right in everyone's face there. So I'm just going to move this away quickly. That was a piece of tape that I had. Okay, now you can see that the edge of that is with the very top portion is seam binding. And I made the handle first before I actually put it on the inside, and I can show you the inside. Okay, the inside here is not finished because I didn't have enough of the trim that I wanted to finish it with. So I actually went to the craft store to just get some Chinese braid because I was completely out of it. And that's what's going to go around the inside of it. And as you can see, it's that cream paper that's on the inside, which it looks painted. But you can certainly buy these if you go online. You can buy the cardboard or paper mache, whatever they call it, which I have bought some of them in the past. But if I can make my own, then why not, right? So I did that with heavy weighted cardstock. It was okay to make. It took no time at all. You just roll the paper around until it gets cone shaped, and I taped it, put some glue in there, and it was good to go. So I will have all of the items listed in the drop down box below for your reference, so that you can go on over and check out Treasurer's Deluxe Etsy shop on your own. They have just brought in some really new beautiful blingage into the store, some really pretty things that you can incorporate into your craft projects or into your fabric projects, or wearing them on your clothing if you want to adhere it or make it some type of a brooch. I, for that matter, would love to have some of those and use those as my flower centers, the fabric flower centers. They're so much fun to work with. I know that there's a lot of items that's currently being added to the store. So if you are friends with me on the Facebook page, you can see that I had posted some of those earlier today as soon as I found out about it on my Facebook. And you can also go on over for yourself at www.etsy.com/shop/treasurersdeluxe. I'll have the link to the store, our YouTube link, our Facebook link, my blog, and my fan page on Facebook listed in the Show Me drop-down box below. And don't forget, when you make a purchase, let them know that Susie sent you for your free gift. Okay, so I hope that you've enjoyed seeing this project as much as I have had making it. All of the items, again, like I mentioned, will be listed in the drop-down box below. And I hope that everyone is doing well and feeling fine and is really happy. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. And stay well, everyone. Bye.